The anti-marketing is talking to people, tapping into your audience, your contacts, make them help you create something that they want to buy, ask them if they want to buy it. And then for those who don't want to buy it or don't need it, you just, okay, do you know someone that would be interested in it? I have a commission that will help you out. And, that's it. It's a simplifying everything to its core.
Hello and welcome to Marketing Speak. I'm your host, Stephan Spencer. It is my pleasure to have Tiago Faria with us. Tiago is a mentor to coaches, consultants, service providers, authors, and speakers who have a high-ticket offer. Tiago's approach to marketing is unique as it is more of an anti-marketing approach than anything. He worked at the European headquarters of Google for 8 years as an international growth consultant, assisting large enterprises in Europe and the Middle East on expanding their online reach through Google Ads. Now he helps his clients simplify marketing and business to its core. Tiago posits that you already have everything you need to grow a successful, sustainable, and fun business. He's been podcasting since 2019. The podcast is mostly in Portuguese and is called O Podcast do Tiago Faria. Tiago, it's so great to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Stephan. Pleasure seeing you again.
Yeah, awesome. So you have been podcasting for a while now, and I was on your show back in 2019, right? We did an in-person episode in Lisbon. So, what inspired you to start podcasting? And kudos for continuing on. It's almost 5 years now. So, that's a good run.
Yes, not always super consistently. Yes, I must admit, but podcasting was it was actually one of my first mentors that told me like the fastest way for you to grow an audience or authority in a local market or whatever is to tap into other people's audiences, right? And so, and also network with influential people in your area. So that was the reasoning why I started podcasting. And actually, it's true. It's an amazing way to connect with super amazing people, super highly connected and influential in your area. And also, yes, of course, you have the benefit of having access to other people's audiences because your guests will also see the episode. Some might be interested in your work. It actually still brings me new people to my world. The episodes I made in 2019 and from YouTube, especially from they're still on Google also because of my SEO work on those YouTube videos. But yeah, that was the main reasoning.
Yeah, and what do you do to SEO your podcast episodes?
It's basically just the keyword research to think of the topic that the guests talked about, see what people are searching around that topic, make sure I include it in the title, in the description, also the tags. Some other kind of small little things that add on, make a difference. The image the thumbnail you add on, make sure that also reflects the topic of the podcast, and basically start telling Google and YouTube that you are a partner, content partner, and that you are answering all the questions people have around that topic, and start creating a internetwork, all the videos, create playlists. So there's something cool that you can be done. Of course, it's not as advanced as Mr. Stephan's work on Google, but it surely did help to leverage the search engine side of YouTube, at least for when you're beginning your own podcast or channel, because you're not going to be suggested. There's not going to be suggested videos on your site at the beginning. So it definitely helped me kick off that growth. That I can call it growth. I didn't grow it to very high standards. I have almost 2,000 subscribers. I've been on and off, but I had a very cool period of production that helped me kick off my growth. I did a 90-day challenge to create my own videos, like my monologues, and that really helped me, in conjunction with the SEO work, helped me kick off the channel and reap the fruits still nowadays.
Yeah. And what was the 90-day challenge?
So yeah, it was to create 90 consecutive videos in 90 days for YouTube. So answering all the questions I could find through my keyword research, seeing what else people were looking for in specific topics. And then while I was going, I was seeing, okay, this topic seems to be working a bit better. I'm going to create more content around this and add on to it and answer to different questions. And also, the feedback from the audience questions would start to show up. Okay, this is a great idea for a new topic. And it helped me to unlock this idea that I was not a content creator. I always thought I was a consumer. I hated public presentations. The podcast helped me to start unlocking that idea because I was just interviewing people. You pass the attention to the other side, right? To the guest. It's not all on you. I started feeling more comfortable, and then okay, I'm gonna completely destroy this belief that I'm not a creator. For 90 days, it really is magic. Really happens. You become super skillful at the art. Of course, the first few videos I hated it, of course, but the trick is to just create, publish, forget, go to the next one, and then you also position yourself again as a content partner at the eyes of Google and YouTube. So it's a win-win-win situation. And for those people who are kind of thinking of creating videos and they feel it's important, but they are still afraid, maybe it's a great idea to start your own podcast first to unlock those first few steps and then create an idea challenge of your own content. I think it's an amazing idea.
Yeah. So 90 days, you published a new video every single day, or you shot a video every single day, or your challenge was to just create 90 videos? Like what exactly did you do?
There's flexibility on it. I was inspired by Miles Beckler. I don't know if you know him. It's one of the internet good guys from internet marketing. And it's quite flexible. You can, in a 90-day period, you publish 90 videos. Maybe one day you publish 2 or whatever. But I was more strict in the idea. Today I have to publish something. Something has to be shipped. Even if it's a 1-minute video, 2-minute video, whatever. The fact that you're consistent and that you're accountable to yourself and to others, to you can even talk to people around you, say, I'm committed to the next 90 days to do this. So the idea is to have 90 pieces of content in 90 days. You can be flexible around it. But even if I was on holidays, I would still, take my phone, record, because it's the only way for you to break these beliefs and become a real creator, right?
Yeah, amazing. And so you told others. Who did you tell that? And that's a great idea, by the way. It's called a forcing function. If you just commit to yourself that you're going to, let's say, go to the gym 3 times a week, well, it's easy to quit or just kind of fall off the wagon. But if you tell all your friends or everybody on Facebook that you've committed to, I don't know, losing 20 pounds or gaining 10 pounds of muscle this year, well, now you're out there in public having committed to that, and that is called a forcing function. So who'd you tell?
So yeah, I told my wife, told my colleagues at work, and also to I was already growing kind of an email list because I was doing blogging before. So yeah, I stated to the world, and now I have no chance to escape. Otherwise, I'm going to be badly perceived by others, subconsciously. But I think it was mostly for me. At the end of the day, if I didn't publish something, it was like 11 p.m. or 10 p.m. I was like, I'm going to feel terrible if I don't do this to myself, and so I would still do it no matter what. If it was raining, if it was sunny, if it was holidays, if I was sick. It really creates this content creator muscle and makes you surpass most of your fears because you're using this brute force, and you surpass the perfectionism, the procrastination, and all those fears that are in your mind. It kind of forces you through it, and it works. If it worked for me, and I was a super introvert, I was hated public presentations, and so I think it can work for anyone if you just commit to it. And
Did you miss a day?
No, and actually extend it. I did, instead of 90 days, I'm going to go 30 more days. So I did 120 days on YouTube, and I actually made the videos in Portuguese, but I have on my YouTube channel the reviews. Okay, how I felt after 30 days, 90 days, 120. But yeah, I did not skip a day.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. Well, virtual high five to you for doing that. That's awesome. And that reminds me of something I learned about Seinfeld and of just about how to build a habit. And Seinfeld would write a joke. You know who Seinfeld is, right?
Yeah.
You're over there in Portugal. I don't know if you get much of the U.S. TV shows and stuff over there.
We consume everything: TV shows, movies, comedies, everything.
Okay. So you know who Seinfeld is. Well, Seinfeld, in his very early days, would write a new joke every day, and he would put an X on the calendar on the wall. This was way back in the old days when you didn't have fancy devices in your pocket to track all this stuff. And so he would just put an X through that day on the calendar. And he didn't want to break the chain by having a day without an X. So he made sure that he wrote a new joke every single day. And if he missed a day, he would start over. Day zero again of starting a new chain. So an equivalent to that is, I don't know if you're familiar with the Duolingo app.
Yes.
Do you know? Yeah.
Actually,
so
my mom is using
I've been
it now.
using. Okay, so I use it on a daily basis. I'm learning Hebrew, and day 73 is where I'm at right now, which is pretty cool. Yeah. So that keeping that streak going.
I think even Seth Godin is still to this day. I think he creates a blog post every single day without missing. And I think, success leaves clues, right? So we should get inspired by those.
Yeah, I love that. Success leaves clues. I heard that from Tony Robbins. Yeah.
Actually, I think I heard from Jim Rohn, but yeah, who knows who started it, right?
Well, he learned that a lot from Jim Rohn. Amazing. So did you have an accountability partner on this 120-day challenge, or you just did it all, power through it all by yourself?
For the video, no. For my blog challenge, I did also a 90-day challenge for my blog. I kicked it off. I had another friend of mine working in the fitness area, and he did the same thing. We were together in it. For my YouTube challenge, I didn't do with anyone, but then after going through it, I created a free challenge for other people that were in my audience. To let's all create 90-day challenges to remove these beliefs that we cannot create videos. But yeah, it was incredibly fun.
Nice. How many people went through your challenge?
Successfully, I interviewed like 5 people at the end of it, and they're on my YouTube channel as well. But I was like 30 people that, it's it's hard to make everyone go through whatever you want to do them. Most people are not on the right mindset, or it's not the right time. But yeah, it was.
Yes, there are all sorts of excuses.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. I like it. All right. So now that you have established channel, podcast, blog, and all that, looking back on your successes and your challenges and the times that you kind of fell short in your mind as far as goals that you had set, what would be a few pearls of wisdom that you gleaned from all those experiences that you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, I was all over the place. After we had our interview in 2019, I had just come back to Portugal. I was starting my own venture here. I was 3 years of just falling into all the shiny object traps, tested every single thing, funnels, ads, and I was also playing with SEO at the time. And I think that's probably one of the main things that I could probably share from my experience, that for whoever is starting out, do not fall into that trap. Because if we're focused on trying one thing and then seeing if it works, I'll continue doing it. You will never leave that trap. And instead of that, we should be focusing on doing one thing until it works, and be super consistent about that, and simplifying as much as possible. We tend to overcomplicate our lives, also because we are bombarded by messages from the big gurus telling us that we're one funnel away or whatever. So it's easy to fall into those
one funnel away from sitting on the beach and sipping pina coladas, right?
Yes, it's hard to keep attention, and so yeah, I think for me, what after 3 years, what helped me out is, first of all, I read this book from someone you know very well, Mr. J. Abraham.
Yeah, getting everything you can out of all you've got. So for our listener who's not watching the video, that's the book that Tiago's holding up.
Actually, I found you through one of his episodes. I think he was in his podcast that you were on it.
Okay, so that's how you found me, was through Jay Abraham. Yeah, Jay's a good friend. He's an amazing human, and he's made a big difference for a lot of folks and a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of business owners, and just a lot of people. Yeah.
And he talks a lot about all this, like simplify things, go back to the basics of the timeless marketing and business strategies that have been working for centuries. And this, especially this last sentence, got my attention, that all you've got. And that's what inspired me to start, okay, what do I have around me, right? This is the basis of the anti-marketing approaches. So we all have a contact list of we have a client, actually a kind of clients lists. We have clients, people that we have sales calls with. We have our current contacts, friends, family, LinkedIn connections, etc. And our audience, most of us have either an email list of subscribers or social media followers. So tapping into what we have is enough for us to start, gaining momentum. Or even if you're already established business, it's something that if you need a cash injection right now, it's an amazing thing that most people neglect, is to tap into your current established relationships, right? We tend to go to the new relationships all the time, the cold audiences, etc. And these people in our established relationships, they're not necessarily the ones who will give us the money, but they can also help us get the money. One of the things that Jay talks about a lot is referrals, right? So we should be proactive about that, and that's how we can start leveraging everything we have. And I don't know if you want me to expand a bit more on the anti-marketing method, or
Yeah. Let's go into your whole framework. But before we do, I just want to mention for our listener that there are 3 awesome episodes on this show with Jay Abraham that I highly encourage folks to listen to. You, listener, if you haven't already listened to all 3 of those episodes, one could include the links in the show notes for this episode. So yeah, so if you could, Tiago, if you just expand on this anti-marketing framework that you have, and also I'd love to hear some examples of successes where you've gotten, clients to make a big shift because of it.
Yeah, so exactly. So the established relationships, that's the main focus, right? Tapping into the established relationships around you. And the first thing to ask is do I have something that my target audience actually needs? This is so crucial, the kind of the offer creation part, which unlocks so many things and we tend to forget also about that. So thinking about, does my current offer answer a desperate problem that my audience, my target audience actually needs to solve right now? If not, I think that's the first place I love to start with my clients, is to, have them interview their past clients or past leads, followers, etc. Find out what they actually need, get the emotional language out of them, right? Because then you can go back to your offer and reflect exactly what they told you they wanted, they need badly, their obstacles, their frustrations, etc. Because if you talk their language, it will resonate much easier, and the offer almost sells by itself. So the first thing to tap into is to help get them, let your current audience and contacts help you create something that they want to buy, right? And then the second question to ask is, okay, do my current established relationships need my offer right now? And for those that need, we can simply ask them if they want help. So we interviewed many people, right? Usually I ask my clients to interview 5 to 10 people in your niche. And then you can go back to them and say, hey, so you said you had this problem. I just created this amazing new program or service that answers that problem. What do you think about it? Do you know anyone who could be interested in it? And just by that simple step, you can already start closing your first or additional new clients of your new offer. And also you can leverage your social media. Social media for me is like, it's just a quick way for you to initiate conversations with your audience. For me, I hate like the Instagram game, the reels, the stories being there all the time. For me, social media is just a conversation starter. So I love to create those kind of hand-raising posts where you say, hey, look, I'm looking for 2 or 3 people that will be interested in achieving a specific outcome. If that's you, just comment below or send me a message, as an excuse to start conversations with people that are actually ready to buy now, that are interested in it, right? So with that simple strategy, you can actually start extracting the people that are ready to buy now from your audience. And then for those people that don't need your offer in your world, then you can ask yourself, can you make something that they need? And here we go with the referrals, right? Everybody needs money. Everybody loves to support people they care about. You never know how far can connections go. So yeah, simply offering a referral commission to people around you. Do you know anyone who'd be interested in this? If you do, I have this referral fee. And if we do this systematically, we'll be surprised by how much magic can start happening around us with just these simple little actions in our current world. And in terms of examples, in terms of the social media, mostly the hand-raising posts, I have a very good example of a Portuguese client of mine. She's called Lourdes. She's a career coach, and she was very much focused on her own one-on-one service and She was using Google Ads to like a contact form, and she was collecting very unqualified leads, losing a lot of time with those qualifications. So I helped her with this, the hand raising posts. Okay, she has an email list. She had followers, lots of followers on LinkedIn, and with this kind of hand raising posts, just stating simply, I'm looking for 5 people who want this very specific outcome. Right? We have to have those words, the emotional words that her audience wants to hear and actually wants to act on. And then just starting conversations on social media and email, she was able to immediately close her new group coaching program that she was creating, closed the 5 people that she wanted in the space of 2 weeks. And for Portugal, the numbers are a bit different than in the US, but she was able to achieve like 4,000 euros in those space of 2 weeks, which was amazing, just leveraging what she had, right? And then she also tapped into her current network to ask for referrals, and that started generating a momentum. So yeah, I love it because it's you're talking to people that are already kind of aware of you, right? It's established relationships. People already trust you somehow, in some degree, right? You're not trying to convince someone from scratch to buy something. You're using your network to create something that they want, and then simply asking, do you want this? I have this for you. You can help me.
Yeah. So could we perhaps include the hand raising post example from her in the show notes for this episode? Could you secure permission from her, and we'll add that into this?
That's a great idea. I'm going to ask her to post the LinkedIn post that was the differentiator.
Perfect. So if we could include those into this episode's show notes, that will give people very tangible example for them to
in Portuguese, but you can still Google Translate, right? Thank God for Google Translate.
Yes, indeed. So what were some of the emotional words in English? So translate those for our audience here. What would be some of those emotional words that she found were very engaging and provocative and moved people into action?
In that case, I don't remember exactly because it was already a year ago, but I kind of give examples of what I mean. So instead of saying something like, I'm if you're feeling like your relationship is reached a dead end or something, or very generic meta words that don't, people understand them, but they don't mean anything specifically. They don't feel like this is me, right?
Yeah, they're not connecting to those words.
They're not connecting, right? But if you interview people and ask them very profound questions and try to extract the emotional words, then you can reach a point where people start saying something like, yeah, every time I come home, I feel like my husband doesn't even look at me. My kids are even wondering why we're fighting all the time. So getting to the details of what it actually looks like during the day-to-day of those people, instead of using meta or very commonly used words that we tend to do as marketers. We tend to use those very pompous words, and that you can only reach if you just talk to your audience and schedule actually Zoom calls with 5 to 10 people and ask, so what's your main frustrations? How does it make you feel? What brought you there? What have you tried to do before that didn't work? What do you actually want to achieve? How does your day-to-day look like? And then insist on being more specific. Try to get the most specific answer possible by asking prompt questions like, oh, but how does that actually make you feel? How does it reflect in your day-to-day? And can you tell me a bit more about this? Those kind of interviews are magical, and especially if you record them and then you transcribe the words instead of being your own interpretation. It's an amazing exercise that I think anyone that listening right now could and should actually just do. Right, book a call with 5 to 10 clients and try to extract all these emotional words that you can simply afterwards copy paste in your communication. People will find it. This is me. It's actually talking to me, right? I think it's magical.
Yeah. Well, it's not just specific words. It sounds like scenarios too. So if somebody comes home and their spouse is not looking at them as you gave in that hypothetical scenario, that would be kind of painting a picture rather than providing an emotional word. But that's important too. and there's this scene from this movie. I forget which one it is, but it's a comedy. Jason Bateman is in it, and his wife, when he comes home late, his wife is already in her like pajamas. I think her sweatpants. When she has those sweatpants on, he ain't getting nothing that night. Like once those sweatpants are on, he's done. Like it's a lonely night for him. So he races to get home before those sweatpants are on, and then if they're on, he's like, no, the door is locked. And so talking about the scenario, even if there's not an emotional word there, really evokes an emotional response out of the reader or the listener or the viewer.
The person really feels like she's talking to me, even if she doesn't experience that exact experience. It takes her to some sort of experience, like what it would feel like in a scenario that, yes, I actually also feel the same way, right? And you don't have to be. It's amazing because if you're not a good copywriter, which most of us aren't, using this simple strategy in order to put it into your own offer, the way you communicate to your audience, the way you communicate with your sales calls, etc. All these magical words that resonate help a lot to close the gap, and people make you if they feel that they understand you deeply, if they feel that we understand them as much as even better than they understand themselves, they will feel, okay, this guy can help me because he understands me deeply, right? Automatically.
Awesome. So why do you call this anti-marketing? It sounds like marketing, but in just kind of more intuitive marketing, or doing something marketing related that doesn't require handing over a big check or signing up for some expensive program.
Yes, of course. It's anti-marketing, but I love marketing. Of course, it's my life. It's my obsession, my hobby, everything. I call it that because because my people, my target audience, are those that were me before, like distracted with the shiny objects, like those complex, confusing strategies that are mostly adjusted to people that are in a scaling phase, and not for those who still didn't reach the stability, the sustainability. And I'm anti that, anti that message that you're on funnel way, or that you have to make ads, you have to be doing reels every day. So okay, just simplify everything and just talking to people. It's basically the anti-marketing is talking to people. Tapping into your audience, your contacts, make them help you create something that they want to buy. Ask them if they want to buy it. And then for those who don't want to buy it or don't need it, you just, okay, do you know someone that would be interested in it? I have a commission that will help you out. And, that's it. It's a simplifying everything to its core.
And do you have any suggestions on how to structure a referral system with commission, like percentages, or how long you pay the commission for, and how to do this in integrity, so the person they're referring, if they find out that a finder's fee or commission was earned, they don't feel kind of like sold or betrayed or taken advantage of?
Yeah, that's a good question. I try also to simplify as much as possible. So in terms of, I love to be also, how do you say it in English? I love to compensate very well people that are trying to help me. So like a 20% commission, I think it's a good rate for this kind of high ticket services, to compensate actually people that are helping you out. And what I usually incentivize people to do is to brainstorm with the person that you're talking to. Okay, who do you know in your audience? Try to make sure that the person actually thinks proactively, and then not just let it go and forget about it. Brainstorm people that she knows, maybe organizations she's part of, or people she's interacted before. Describing very well who you're looking for, what kind of person you can help the best. And then make them introduce you by email. So send an email to me introducing your contact in CC, and then this way you can register you with this person, and that person, is already. And then you can start a conversation with her, and make sure if she qualifies or not. And in terms of the bad taste, I don't think it's a problem, because I also advise everyone to present the referral program to new clients. Even if a new client comes referred, I also present the same offer, and of course she understands that, okay, it's common practice. Maybe the person that referred me also compensated. And even if people say yes, it's also an amazing idea. Jay Abrams talks about that, right? Multiple ways to ask for referrals. If the person say yes, okay, do you know someone who would be interested in joining with you? I can offer a discount for both of you guys. Or even if the person says no, you can still say, okay, amazing. I understand that it's not for you right at the moment, but do you know someone who would be interested? I can actually, offer you a referral fee, even if you don't work with me. I can want to still, benefit you. So yeah, it's lots of cool things you can do, and it's very abundant, I believe. Nice. And people are very willing to help you out. I've been understanding lately. People love to help you out.
And is that 20% commission ongoing for as long as the client is with you, or is it for the first year?
It's for the total amount. I usually don't have retainers. I have like programs or services that have a finite time. So it will be for the total amount invested from that client.
Okay. So it's for as long as they're a client or as many programs as they sign up for, you'll give that 20%.
No. For the first program that the person, jumps in, or the program or the service or whatever. Yes. That would be a good idea, actually, Stephan. Thank you for that. An even bigger incentive.
All right, awesome. And do you have a template you offer the referral partner as far as sending an email introduction to you? Is that something that you help them with, or do they just kind of?
Yeah, even like a message template, or if they ask, of course, I don't immediately send it to them. Like that might look a bit
a little pushy,
invasive, a little pushy. Yes. I like to make sure that I feel the person, if she's really open to it and really willing to contribute. But yeah, I definitely have those templates.
Do you have an example of somebody that recently perhaps didn't sign up with you, but referred somebody to you? Like they came in as a lead, but they didn't sign up, or maybe they ended up signing up, but also bringing a friend and getting a discount for both of them.
I have examples for both, but that didn't yet close for the second, the person that was referred. But it keeps happening that the clients are being sent through those two strategies. Yes, if you systematically do it, it's inevitable that things start happening. Yeah. The thing is that the secret is to be consistent and systematic about that, and also track everything. Right, every person you interact with. Who did you ask for it? Did you follow up on it? Who did you refer? The trick is really to be systematic about it.
Right. So if you're doing, let's say, sales calls with or strategy sessions or whatever you want to call it, and you have a checklist or some sort of numbered list of items that you go through with.
Yeah, like a sales script, and I have the different scenarios. Right. If the person says yes, if she says no. And the scenarios of asking for referrals if she comes in, or if she says no, well, ask for referral. But always have that on top of mind to guide me and my clients in terms of always be present, always be asking.
Yeah. It's really helpful to have a sales script or framework or checklist. So that you don't miss stuff. Like for example, when I have a sales conversation with a prospect for SEO, I'm going to ask them if it's okay to record the call. Then I don't have to take notes while I'm talking with them. It's all captured in the recording. And also I can share it with my director of SEO or someone else on my team who needs to know some of the information from that sales call if that prospect ends up signing as a client.
That's actually super helpful.
Really helpful.
That's super helpful. And I want to start doing it actually. And in your experience, have you, most people say yes? Like you never had anyone?
Yeah, I almost never get a no. Like sometimes they'll just say, please keep this confidential, or, please only between us, or whatever, something along those lines. But even that is not that common.
Yeah, if you position as like, I don't want to lose time taking notes. I want to pay full attention to you, right? Something like that. Yeah. That's a really good idea. Very cool idea.
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time explaining it. I just make the simple request. Can I record this call so I don't have to bother taking notes while we're talking?
Awesome. Thank you for that. I learned already so many things just for this quick interview.
Yeah. So what's on your sales script that you want to point out for our listener that we haven't already discussed?
So yeah, it's basically trying to uncover the problems that are keeping the person, not achieving what she actually wants to achieve. So yeah, I start with asking, "Oh, what's your desired scenario? Like, if we're talking in a year from now, what will be your ideal scenario? What will be what will make you be happy about it?" And then try to understand what are the obstacles that are not letting her go there. Try to see and understand what she did before that didn't work, and then compile everything that the person said, uh, to give it back to the person. This is what I figured out about what you're saying, telling me, and then simply asking, do you want help with this? The selling doesn't have to be overly complex or pushy or pressury. It's basically making the other person tell her, her giving her the love letter, like, this is all my problems I have, this is all what I want to achieve, and then simply asking if the person wants help, and then just, okay, let's go through what I have to offer to you. I believe this is going to be ideal for you. Talking about the program generically, not going into too much in details about the modules or about the just focus a lot on the outcomes, on what the person would gain after that, and then just asking if the person is ready to start right now. And then if she's not, okay, cool, no worries. And when do you want to, have a chat again? Do you want me to send you an email in the next few days? Give the person freedom to tell you how comfortable she is with the follow up. If she says no, then okay, that's no problem. I totally understand that you are not ready for it right now. But by the way, do you know someone who would be in this exact scenario that I just described to you? And give you an option to use a no as an additional sales opportunities, right? So yeah, I think that covers up the basics of it.
Yeah. Well, this reminds me actually of some listening techniques I've learned from relationship experts. This isn't sales advice, it's just good conversational advice. And I learned this for example, from Harville Hendrix, who wrote Getting the Love You Want, huge New York Times bestselling book. And he's the founder of Imago Couples Therapy, that's all around the world. Thousands and thousands of Imago trained therapists, marriage counselors, and so forth. And he teaches this dialogue approach where you mirror back what they're saying with let's say your partner, and you're having an argument, but you're not yet to the argument because you agreed to do this dialogue approach. So you don't jump in and share your 2 cents about or try and defend yourself or whatever. You just mirror back what they're saying, what the other person is saying, and you keep mirroring.
She feels understood, right? The person feels understood.
Yeah, exactly. They feel heard. And then you summarize. Then after you summarize, you validate and you empathize. So validating, yes, that makes sense. And empathizing is, I imagine you must feel X, Y, and Z when you have that situation happen. And then just also making sure that everything has been said. Like, is there anything else about that? Is there anything else that you want to share? And that is such a powerful way to diffuse arguments, but it's also a way to build rapport and relatedness and help that person feel understood by you. And so I'm just thinking in terms of in sales conversation, if you're mirroring, you're relaying back what you're hearing from them, which you're already doing, it sounds like from what you were saying, but you also take the extra step and you share how that must feel X, Y, and Z for you, right? So you're empathizing and you're also validating. That makes total sense that you would feel that way, or that you would have that situation, that challenge and a difficulty or whatever. I think that would maybe help enhance your sales process. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm taking notes of it, everything. I'm not going to review this interview and improve even more my sales script. Yeah, totally makes sense. Totally makes sense.
Well, also you can check out that interview of Harville Hendrix that I did a few years ago now, but that's on my Get Yourself Optimized podcast, the personal development one. So I'll include a link in the show notes.
You'll put in the show notes, right?
Yeah.
I've heard you're amazing at show notes.
Well, it's good for SEO as well as good for the listener. Yeah. So if someone wants to work with you, if they want to learn from you, if they want to apply some of these principles that you're talking about in greater depth, what's the next step for them? Where would we send them to, and how would they work with you?
Yeah, so if the person somehow felt identified with what we talk about here, wants to get clients consistently, but it kind of makes her cringe to think that they have to post reels on Instagram every day, or tired of wasting money on ads that are just eating budgets, and that's the only way they know so far to do it, then they can reach out to me at tiago@tiagofaria.pt. It's my email with any questions, with any comments of what we discussed here today. Or you can even book a free call with me at tiagofaria.pt/call, and let's chat. I love to meet people like you that work in this kind of industry that we're describing here today, and we can brainstorm some simple strategies that the persons can implement today using what they have in their own world.
Yeah, awesome. Anti-marketing marketing. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Tiago, and thank you, listener. We'll catch you in the next episode. I'm your host, Stephan Spencer, signing off.